Unicorns. It's Ellie, the Empress here. All right, so we're gonna talk about Glamour Magic while I do some my hairs, and it's really important. This is a topic for both ladies and gents, simply because um, understanding how your physical appearance can change your life is something that people have to get past as far as like thinking is shallow. Um, because it's only shallow and like basically it's only shallow if you're operating in your shadow self thinking that your appearance is the only thing that's important and the substance of your being is not important. So you have to match the frequency of your physical appearance, not just think that your physical appearance is the end all be all of whatever sort of existence you're intending to live. That's just part of it. So, for example, like a lot of people have the misconception of like what individuals in certain areas. What we're gonna do is straighten my hair. Like that. That's what we got going on. As you can see, it's a little bird's nesty. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. We're gonna be straightening this. And so, what a lot of people have a misconception of is the fact that um, wealthy people, you know, oh, they only wear things that they don't wear name brands and all this stuff. What they do is, if you've heard of the popular terminology, they indulge in quiet luxury, and that means that no, they're not shopping at Walmart. That's a big misconception. Will they shop at Walmart occasionally? Maybe. However, those individuals are not getting their clothes from Walmart because it's not quality. You can find some quality clothing at Walmart. I'm not saying that it's completely just a no go. It's just shopping at places like Walmart are a stepping stone. It's the style that looks like it's Walmart. So they'll still wear things like Tommy Hilfiger. It's just they won't have like a big ass Tommy Hilfiger name on their shirt. It'll probably be like a little flag thingy, the flag looking thing, that little brand thing. But they don't wear loud name brands. I need to turn on my flat irons. Okay, got these turned on now. Oh, y'all can't even see the light. So when they're wearing those name brands, you can't tell that it's a name brand. And that is the misconception that a lot of people have. It's like, oh, wealthy people shop at Walmart. They do not. They just wear clothes that you can find at Walmart that have that same style. So if they're wearing a Tommy Hilfiger shirt, the entire point of it isn't Tommy Hilfiger. It's a nice t-shirt, a nice collar shirt, a nice sweater. The quarter zips. I'm gonna get to the quarter zips in a minute. A nice quarter zip that isn't loud with the name brand. Claudia Zantare Hadaria said hi. Hello. How you doing? Nisha said hi. Hi. How you doing? So, um, it's like, also where you're shopping. Like I said, it's like, oh, they shop at Walmart. They don't. They shop at places that are not like loud. Like maybe they'll shop at Target. I understand like with boycotting and stuff like that. There's certain major department stores that a lot of people aren't shopping at anymore. I understand that. So for example, Tommy Hilfiger is at Costco. That's not like some big super, you know, it's not a superstore. It's not the mall. It's not anywhere that's unattainable. You do have to have a membership at Costco to shop there. At the same time, they're not going to these crazy superstores to buy their branding of clothing. It's about the quality of the clothing. So if you get clothes at places like, I don't know about Sam's Club, but like at Costco and Whole Foods, it's like shopping for clothes at Whole Foods. Yeah, there's clothes at Whole Foods, mostly for women. Real Peso said, "What's up? What's up? What's up?" But yeah, there's more women's clothing at Whole Foods, and it's the quality of the clothing. Now, I personally, this is me personally, I wouldn't buy my clothes from Whole Foods just because I don't like the styles of those clothing, but they tend to have materials that are locally sourced, or people make the clothing by hand, things of that nature, stuff like that. And so that is the benefit of shopping at places like Costco, Whole Foods. It's not like, you're going out of your way to pay a whole bunch of money. It's not about how much money is spent. It's about the quality of the clothing that is spent. So where you can get a t-shirt for $10 at Walmart, you can find another shirt that's probably $10 more, so probably like $20 at Costco. And then it'll last longer because the quality is higher. It's that sort of mentality. Jennifer said hi. Hi. And so it's about understanding the quality, not just the price. It's like, oh, they don't spend all their money on these name brand clothes. Exactly. Because they shop smart. They don't shop for other people. They shop for themselves. It's like, okay, well, how long is this going to last? Or can I wear this garment until I decide to buy more garments? That is the mindset behind it. So buying things that are quality, last a long time, and are nice. So it's like, well, I can find that same top at Walmart. You probably can't find the same looking top or pants at Walmart. You probably can't. At the same time, it's an entirely different mindset of where you're shopping. Bash is Bash. Hey, how you doing? I have, man, like, I love seeing certain people who come in my comment section or send me DMs, because it's just like, it makes me happy, because I haven't been on socials in so long. So I like being reminded of certain people. I really need to get your phone number, because I have been off socials. I'm not trying to come back in the same way that I was, because can I screen share on YouTube? Because I know I can screen share on Instagram, because I saw something ridiculous that happened. I can screen share. I can green screen. Oh, I'm going to just show y'all something ridiculous that happened on Instagram real quick. I'm going to get back to the topic. Somebody left this crazy ass comment about my body. And so all the ladies were in the comments getting on his ass. Because, like, I saw the comment before anybody else said anything. But I was like, I'm going to just let everybody else handle it, because there ain't no point. There is no point in me even saying anything, because, like, that guy's a loser. Because why are you paying that much attention to me? I haven't been online for a year, and you understand and notice my body. Like, why are you paying that much attention? You go to his profile, he's a loser. So, no. Bash said, I'm good, beautiful. How are you? I am fantastic and fantabulous. What I just showed is exactly why I haven't been on socials, because it's like, my life is just too good to be around miserable people. Like, people really just be on miserable type of energy online. And this is another thing about Glamour Magick. So, like, I'll just use that for an example, because it's like the whole thing about, like, gaining weight. I look good. Like, the whole thing about weight is, like, people don't know how to wear weight on their body. So, did I gain weight? I absolutely did. And I am so happy. Like, I look so good. I really do. I look fantastic. Because, like, I have a cute shape. And it matches, like, how my body is. It's not something that looks crazy. So, people just, it's like, do I look sad or unhealthy with my weight on my body? Absolutely not. I look fantabulous. So, and it's a man. Like, that's the thing. It's a man. It wasn't like a health coach lady coming and being like, oh, if you do this or that, is like something I can take as advice. It's just some man. My man don't care. Like, at the end of the day, if a man's going to have an opinion, it'll be my man or my father. My dad ain't said nothing. So what are we talking about? Oh, yes. Bash says, shout out to Kofi and Devin, period. Oh my gosh, I love her so much. That's the thing too. It's like, for people who don't like know this crowd, because a lot of y'all on this channel are like spiritual and like woo-woo across the country. My OG spirituals are located in Memphis, Tennessee. Like, this is how serious it is. We had this one studio that we were doing our rehearsals in for this one modeling show. They closed down the studio, or maybe they changed locations. I'm not completely sure. So the studio location is no longer a studio. It's a spiritual shop. It's a botanica. Like, that's how serious it is. Like, that's how I learned about a lot. It's like people get all weird about like nudity and like body art. It's like, I learned that shit from the Memphians. Like, the real spiritualists. It's a whole situation. Like, people do not understand Memphis at all. Like, Memphis is like the OG place for a lot of things. It just is. It's not like, something we say is like, oh, we rep the M. Like, no, if you do your history, you do your research. Uh, my birth town is the place where a lot of things originate. It's just the truth. Bad Step Facts. You do look good, beautiful. I love how you embrace it too. There are some weird people out there, real talk. Shout out to Memphis, period. Big period. Because what? And so it's like being like, I don't want to sound generic when I say this, but it really is serious. Being confident in yourself. I noticed my weight gain, and I went to the doctor. They said I gained a certain amount of pounds. I was like, ooh, I didn't know it was that much. But it was something I had already acknowledged before. So it's not like I was taken aback too much. It was just I wasn't expecting to hear that particular number. It was more so of a thing of, okay, well, this is what it is. And if I want to do anything, I'll just get back on a certain routine. Because I did stop one of my health routines as I've just been making this transition. When I say I have been relaxing in my feminine all year, like being away from crazies has made me feel so good. So I just been relaxing. And it just, my whole body just decided to relax in totality. So it's like a whole situation for me. And while, like I said, take me as an example. You don't have to copy everything I do. Ladies, if gaining weight is not on your vision board, you do not have to. It wasn't on my vision board. It's just, it happened to be something that I would enjoy rather than something. Because I always wanted to gain more weight when I was younger. I felt like I was looking a little scrawny sometimes. And then a lot of y'all who know about my bad situation that happened to me a few years ago where someone was controlling my food and my eating habits, I lost a lot of weight. So I have been trying to gain weight for some years anyway, for my health, literally. So now I'm healthy looking and I look fantastic. I just look bigger than how I normally was years ago. And at the end of the day, I'm not even 30 yet. So like, people are weird anyway for even just like paying that much attention. Like, who cares? Now, ladies is one thing. If a lady notices it and says something, that's fine. But it's just the fact that it's a dude. And based on that dude's comments, it's like, okay, you're not resonating on the frequency. This, again, that was an Instagram comment. I don't come across comments like that too much on YouTube. That's why I mostly like to engage with y'all on YouTube anyway, and which is why I came back to the internet anyway, if y'all paid attention to my other stuff. Because, YouTube policies, and you have to post and engage with your audience a certain amount to keep certain privileges on the platform. So that's really the only reason I'm here. That person on Instagram does not understand that, so they think that the internet is a free-for-all to just say whatever you want about anybody. The fifth loco. If you're so tough, why don't you join the UFC? Okay. Like I said, I don't come across as many weirdos on YouTube, but there's not to say that there's zero. Pickle Jr. said, damn, you fine. And you know it, period. All right, much gratitude. So, the physical body is, I was about to say, like, in my head, I heard is a matrix. That's not what I was going to say, but I'll go ahead and say that out loud. The physical body is a matrix. Now, for women specifically, we are a matrix. That it says that in the Bible. So go ahead and look that up. When you're born, you enter through the matrix, which is the womb. That's not where I was going with this, but I heard that in my head, so I had to go ahead and say that because that's a channel thought. It's a divine thought. I had to go ahead and share that out loud. And so, when you pay attention to the body, because your body is a temple. Again, biblical references. We always take everything back to the Bible because that's one of the things. They made a lot of people have toxic relationships with the Bible through church hurt and people being overly religious and not practicing the Bible accurately. And so a lot of the principles that a lot of us in New Age, spirituality, whatever, understand and know come directly from the Bible. It's not even like a guess or a what if. It's like, no, it comes directly from the Bible. So when you treat your body as a temple and you value your physical appearance in whatever sense that is, it reflects through your actions. What? I'm not trying to mispronounce your name, so forgive me if I do, but it's Majtaba Rahimi. Do you know the Savior of the world? Do you know Imam Mahdi? Who Imam Mahdi is? I'm a believer in Christ, and Yeshua is my big brother. So, as far as there being a savior of the world, I'm not here to debate that. I'm not here to have that discussion. So, yeah, if that's your belief, then okay. I am a Hebrew Israelite. I am an individual who is original to the world. I am indigenous to this planet. My father is in heaven. So, you know what I'm saying? And the earth is my mother. That's what I believe. Well, that's what I know. It's not really a belief, so. And that's the crazy thing. I don't even know any of that. I don't know who or what that is. I know a lot about theology, and what you said is just completely new to me. And it's like, I don't know what any of that is about, because a lot of the Abrahamic religions, I could relate them back to Yeshua because of translation, but I don't even know what's going on there. And so, taking into consideration physical appearance, I saw this TikTok earlier about this lady who was told by her boss or one of her managers at her job to stop dressing up at work. And it wasn't a situation where she was breaking dress code or looking crazy out at the workplace. It wasn't anything like that. She just looked so nice, and the dude was hating. Again, a man. Dude was hating to the point where he bullied her into not wanting to attend their company meeting because he said he didn't want her basically to be visible to anybody. Because one of the comments he said specifically was, you know how you like to dress up and act like you own the place. And it's just like, if a girl wants to be cute, she just wants to be cute. It has nothing to do with an individual in particular or whatever. She is raising her own vibration because she is happy with herself. That is what is going on. It's not for other people's validation. Now, when you're talking about glamour magic for manifestation, getting other people's validation is part of it in order to gain what it is you're desiring. So, for my own example, I started changing my look up to get long hair. My hair is just about this long. I just don't straighten it. So when I do straighten it, it will be this long. It was so funny. When I got my first sew-in, my mom was like, all you gotta do is flat iron it. It'll be that long. I'm like, Mom, I'm not trying to flat iron my hair right now. Like, when I do that, I don't know. I don't know when that'll be. I'm not too encouraged to flat iron my hair. I have done a very, very good job of keeping my hair healthy. Not to say that I can't straighten it and it'll just completely ruin its health. I just don't have the urge to do it. Do I like having straight hair? Yeah, but that's why I'm just going to buy my hair and wear it like this instead of straighten it. Because it comes with no heat damage at all. And it's like, even if I heat damage his hair, it's synthetic. I don't care. Like, I just go to the store and buy some more. In order to grow my hair back, that takes a lot more work. I can't just go buy my own hair. But anyway, that is something that I wanted, was long hair. So I lived as if I had long hair. I bought a curly ponytail, started treating my hair as if it was long, and now it is. So that's the thing that a lot of people don't really understand as well. It's like, you can just do things for yourself because you want it. You know, it doesn't have to be some big, huge manifestation of some huge, grandiose situation and, all these grand things. It's just like, I want long hair again. I'm ready to have long hair again. That's it. Now, what came with that was a lot of other stuff that I wasn't necessarily expecting, which is a plus. It's a bonus, and that's great. I'm appreciative. But all I was intending to do was get long hair. So I, of course, took care of my hair, had healthy hair regimens and routines. At the same time, the only goal was to gain length. That was the only actual goal, was to gain length on my head. And I've successfully done that. It is what it is. So that's what I mean by glamour magic. Because like a lot of women will try to be like, oh, I'm trying to grow my hair out and this and that. But black women specifically, because, you know, different ethnicities have like, they just have different things going on genetically, where I know for black women, it tends to be more of a struggle to grow out long hair. I never struggled with it necessarily, but I did get to a peak. I got to a certain point where my hair just didn't grow past a certain length. And so I was able to do that successfully. And I'm very happy about it. So I found what I needed to do. Is just not manipulate my hair much at all. If I wear a protective style, just like keep it in long enough to where I'm actually retaining the length and not just seeing some length and then getting breakage because I want to do too much to my head. Stuff like that. It's basic and it sounds basic, but you know, it takes the discipline behind it. Just like shopping. If you're going to go shopping, you have to shop how you want to be and not shop for a false narrative. And I'll get into that in a second. Big Chief Peacock said, peace from Portland, Oregon. What's up, peace? Willie Evans said, Ellie got the magic stick. You talking about this thing? This is what you're talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. I got a magic wand. I do have a magic wand, but I mean, do I need to? I'll wait till the end to spray it because I was gonna spray it, but I'm not even gonna do that yet. But yeah, let's talk about the quarter zips now, because like I feel like men embracing glamour magic nowadays is very, very important, because men were kind of fed this narrative that nothing that they did mattered, and that's not true at all by any means. Men are very, very important to society, and when men look good, it means that society is doing good. Like the whole bummy dude era, if y'all remember that. I don't know. I don't know what that was. It was, I think it was part of like a Great Depression. Like, I think that men were collectively depressed during that time period. And nobody really like saw it that way. It was just a lot of guys being lazy. So people were dressing how they felt. They felt lazy. They're being lazy. And now with this trend going on with these quarter zips, I love it. I really do like it, because it makes people feel more sophisticated. And what I did not like was when people were saying stuff like, oh, y'all are whitewashed, or you're doing this for not cultural appropriation, but like white acceptance and stuff like that. It's like, listen, who owns Nike? Who owns Louis Vuitton? Who owns Balenciaga? Who owns Adidas? It's not like people are engaging in something that's black than going to something that's white. These big corporations are all owned by the same people. So saying, oh, you're not supporting Nike anymore, or in the same way that you were, oh, you're whitewashed, you're doing this for white acceptance. It's like, you got all these companies owned by white people. What are you talking about? You can't say that a style of dress is inherently white. You can't say that at all. There's a sophistication that comes with it, because black people got swag anyway. So whatever we wear, we're going to wear it in our unique way anyway. That's just how we are as a people. I don't see the issue with it. You getting young men to stop sagging their pants. That's where it gets to me, where it's like, What is it going to take for people to stop complaining about certain things? You know, this isn't so much like a commentary on that all the way. It's more so like just something I noticed where it's not about making everybody happy. It's just the fact that, okay, with this movement of fashion, now there's going to be less black men sagging their pants. There's going to be less young men with their underwear showing. So what is the problem? What exactly is the issue? You mad that dudes look like they finna go golfing? They might take up golfing. Golfing could be good for them. Why is it okay to keep selling young boys dreams that they're gonna be an NFL or an NBA player? They may have better luck in golf. You know you can make more money in golf. You can be an independent golfer and make so much, you know, per game. You may not be Tiger Woods, but it's better to get into that than to try to play basketball. Not everybody's going to be in the NBA. Not everybody's going to be in the NFL. Let them explore. Let them do things. Like, what are we talking about? These are the same people who used to make fun of anime heads. Now, black boys in anime is finally accepted, and they're having a good time. It's the same thing. It's like people wanting to elevate themselves and elevate their lives is always seen as something that has to do with white people. And it's like, no, it's something that is available to the public, and people in the public are going to take advantage of it in the best way possible because they want to. It's not something to look down upon or feel like they're doing for white people. Like, it's just weird. And plus, even if it's not taken that seriously, it's a joke. like it's a joke. It's a joke anyway. It's sarcasm. So whether they take upon the opportunity to dress that way and actually invest their dollars into it for a wardrobe, not just one piece to make some videos or some TikToks or whatever, even if they take it like genuinely seriously in their own personal life, it's a trend, it's a joke. So what the heck is going on? Like, I just thought that was weird. And I was like, oh, I think I still have this screenshot too with the guy who created it. Let's see if I can find it. No, hold on. Because I have it. I don't think I deleted it on my... Here we go. This dude right here. And so he started it with the trend. And it's like, bro, that's Glamour Magick right there. He got it. And I think it's really awesome because it just changes the frequency of a person. It changes the frequency of yourself. Like, okay, you got young YNs walking around with shiesties on and some joggers. Not even specifically Nike Techs, you know. Let's not even talk about brand because, like I said, it's not always about the brand that's being worn. It's the style of clothing. So you got a dude with a hoodie, some joggers, and a shiesty on. He'd take it off and then put on a quarter zip with like a nice sweater vest with a button-up shirt. He looks good. Look, what are we talking about? He looks nice. He looks like he's going somewhere. He looks like he is in a fraternity in college or something. Even not even a fraternity. He looks like he's part of a book club. What's the problem? Like, folks over here talking about, oh, our black men need to do better. Okay, so when they start doing better, y'all want to say that it's for white people. What are we talking about? What's happening? Willie Evans said, yep, LOL. Weird Burton said, did you see what Michael Reposto did on the news? He had a hoodie and joggers and shiesty mags. Did you see Michael Reposto? I don't know who that is. Are you see a garage so you look like Jordan Peele? I might look like a lady Jordan Peele. My lips aren't as big as his though. He got some juicy lips on his face. But yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like seeing the pushback of it. I'm like, all that should be happening is people encouraging it or at least providing some sort of diversity in the clothing. That's all. It's like, Dressing up shouldn't be looked down upon at all. All these complaints about the youth don't have anything going on, and they all in the streets and doing crime and stuff. Then they start doing a little fun little trend TikTok challenge or whatever, and now fake woke people got something to say, because that's all that is. That's just being fake woke. That's literally all it is. There you go. I think I got that piece. There you go. All right. I'll do this piece separately. I'll do that separate, because that's too much in the back. But yeah, tiny little rant on that. I am loving these new YouTube streaming features. I'm really liking it, because the Instagram ones, they were this good, and so Instagram still is better, but I'm really liking the fact that they got these new features, because this is my first time streaming on my phone since I've been back online, and even like the streaming features on the laptop are still really, really good, but doing it here on my phone, oh my gosh, I'm loving this. Okay. Are you related or something? You know, I could be related to Jordan Peele. I could be. Who knows? Who knows? Thorough, Breeze, 777, sit down. Ah. Yeah. You know, it's being realistic about things. You know, even a lot of old heads dress kind of crazy nowadays, and you know, seeing like young men step up their fashion game outside of street ninja wear, because that's what it is, a street ninja wear. It's not necessarily streetwear. Streetwear is a lot of different things, but street ninja wear, y'all know what I'm talking about. Talk about a shiesty and a ski mask. Like, why was ninjas wearing ski masks? Ain't none of these ninjas been skiing. Ain't none of them been on the slopes to have ski masks. Different varieties and different colors and styles. Like, it was crazy. So I'm happy about that. I'm very happy about it. And then ladies also bringing back modesty wear. So this is the thing. It's just happening. It is happening. And I was talking to my partner about this. I was like, babe, like, it's gonna be a trend. I said this to him earlier this year. I was like, it's going to be a trend. That's why I need to move this blanket. It's gonna be a trend to be modest. Like, modesty is gonna come back. Because, like, the thing is, it's like, it doesn't really make sense for a lot of stuff to be happening, where it's like, you know, women speaking out about, like, whether it's their safety or just the weird attention that's gotten from men. And when men say stuff like, oh, she was looking this way, or she was asking for the attention because of how she looked and all this stuff, in the very near future, men won't have that excuse. So then they're just going to have to understand that they are a piece of shit. Like, if you thought it was okay to do that to a lady, and you know she didn't look no type of way, you're just a piece of shit. Because this happened recently. We were at Sprouts Farmers Market, and I'm just looking at tumblers. I'm looking at thermal cups. And I'm just like, okay, this one's cute. This one's cute. I like the style of this one. And I do like the style of this one. I don't really like that one. I'm just looking at thermals. And my man's looking at dog food. So we're not doing anything crazy. We're not doing anything out of pocket. We're not even anywhere where we're expecting weird men to be. So, yeah, what's up?
What up in here?
The cracker just didn't break. That's all. So we're not even doing anything for me to be getting attention. Mind you, I'm wearing a calf-length dress with leggings, so my legs aren't visible. And I'm wearing a jacket, like a big, baggy, like sweater type jacket that comes up to my neck, like you can't see me, and I'm wearing a bonnet. So it's not like I was looking like a baddie with my hair out. I had a bonnet on, big baggy black sweater like jacket with calf length dress with leggings. So I wasn't looking like nothing to ask for any sort of attention. So we leave the store, and then he's like, "Did you see what happened with that guy?" I was like, "No, what you mean?" He was like, "When he walked past you, he got all up on you, and like I had to tell you to move out the way, cause he didn't even say excuse me." And I'm like, okay, see, that's the stuff that girls be talking about. Like, you're seeing in real time how you had to be in your masculinity to help me in a situation that I was completely unaware of. Because, you know how it is when you're in public, you can feel people walking past you or whatever. I didn't even feel that person. So it's like he was trying to be close to me. This was from my masculine's words. He was trying to be close to me just because of my aura, just because of my energy. So he just had to like be close to me in the aisle at the store. And I'm like, I didn't do anything to cause that. I'm just standing here looking at hydro flasks. Like, I'm not doing anything to cause myself any sort of unwanted attention. So that's what a lot of people have to realize. So again, Glamour Magick. I've done so much as for my energy that I attract without having to be a quote unquote baddie. Now, that's the type of attention that's unwanted. However, it still works the same. Sometimes, you have to very, very intentionally direct your magnetism. But stuff like that does happen, and it is what it is. Plus, being in a union does like affect your energy in a different way than you expect sometimes. Lionsgate said, "You have any new fashion photos? If so, where can I find them?" That is an interesting question. That is a very interesting question. I appreciate the question, but it's very interesting because not necessarily. I don't necessarily have any new fashion photos where I'm like modeling or showcasing any brands per se. I do have some new photos that I have not shared publicly yet that I took this year. But as far as like specifically fashion photos, I can't see that. No. And when I do post my other pictures, they'll be on my Instagram. I might post them here, possibly. Okay, I'm getting a little hot, so I gotta stand up now. Thank you, Tamari and Jeffrey. Oh my lord. Yeah, I accidentally muted when my phone fell. Forgive my struggles, you guys. I appreciate y'all saying something. But yeah, I said I really do like that question, but no, I haven't updated anything with my modeling or fashion. I've been focused on my writing. I just finished the essay series that y'all will be able to see soon, and I just published another book. So, the past few years have really been focused on writing, and fashion has not been a major priority of mine in recent years. But I really like that question. I really appreciate that question. Okay. Now, what I will say about fashion and how it's related to writing is there's this company that I really like. It's Miu Miu, and it's a subsidiary of Prada. They have a literacy club, so they have these conferences where different individuals are highlighted. They talk about their writing, about whether it's specifically fashion or women's rights, because a lot of things that happen in fashion have a lot to do with women's rights. So that whole baddie aesthetic, it was a message, it was a signal to the collective of like women's freedom. It's very similar to the flapper era of the 1920s. And so when you study things like that and you understand why certain statements were made, it's like, think about how Josephine Baker looked, and it's like, you know, a lot of those things were considered just extreme back in the day, even though it was stage wear. Now, stage wear is different from streetwear, but at the same time, people like to take stage wear and wear it in the street because it's fun. It just brings a different type of vibe to the space, a different type of vibe to the person. And so some people will wear stage wear on the street. But my whole point with that is fashion, I mentioned this in one of the live streams, it's a marker in time. So when you can identify a time period or an era based on what people were wearing, it goes to show the state of mind that people were in. It goes to show what people were valuing during those time periods. So women were experiencing a new level of freedom during the 1920s, and that it was a similar situation. I'll just do it like this, yeah. It was a similar situation during the Instagram baddie era, where I'm not gonna lie, like it just gave stripper. Like a lot of girls were on Instagram looking like strippers. I didn't necessarily participate looking like a stripper specifically, but it was like more revealing, and it was more fun, like, instead of just regular clothing. Now, I didn't start my Instagram to do that. I started my Instagram because, like, as y'all, a lot of y'all know, I modeled when I was younger, and that is something that's very important to my life. So I do my body art display because I just, like, body positivity isn't something that is, I don't think it's celebrated and recognized in the right way. I'm very much for natural bodies. I was so happy to see, like, people get rid of their BBLs, because I'll talk about BBLs and Glamour Magick in a minute. Larry T. Oliver. Okay, I don't know what those emojis are supposed to mean, but those are the YouTube emojis, I guess. But women and how fashion was with the Instagram baddie aesthetic, it gave very much, we're not going to keep like dressing down just because that was the thing. It was like women would dress down and there would still be like certain issues, so it was like, okay, well, forget it, we're gonna do what we want to do now. And that's even where the nudity comes in, where it's like appreciating the bodies for what they are. A lot of people stopped getting BBLs or got their BBLs removed, and I'm very happy about that, because most women do not need a BBL. What are you attracting when you get a BBL? Okay, if you're a stripper, if you're an entertainer, if you are an OnlyFans girl, Like, those are the people who would acquire a BBL, and it makes sense. You're not acquiring a BBL to do anything other than attract a certain type of attention from people. That's all that is. Because if you truly want like larger glutes, you can work for them. You can do workouts and still keep a soft booty. You don't have to do workouts to get that hard ass rock on your back. Like, I can't stand that. There's ways to do it. You have a certain diet and you have a certain workout routine. You don't have to do anything crazy. Squatting does miracles. So you keep up a good squat routine and you still keep up like eating certain, like, avocados are healthy, but they're still fatty foods, like different type of nuts. I don't eat nuts all that often, but like walnuts, almonds, stuff like that, they still have a lot of fatty properties in them. So you're not getting a hard ass rock back here. It's still soft and squishy, and it still looks nice. But you know what I'm saying with the BBLs, like there's a certain type of girl who would get a BBL, and it should not have been the average everyday woman. That just didn't make any sense when everybody was going their way to get BBLs. Like, you're not a rapper, you're not an entertainer, you have a regular job or no job at all. So what are you getting a BBL for? That didn't make any sense. So I do a lot of my body positivity art to showcase a natural body. Do I have a perfect body? Not by any means, but I look cute. And that was the entire point. That was the entire purpose of doing that showcasing. Juicebox said, damn, this Mike Tyson. That's crazy. Baby Legs for Life said, how long have you been trans? I saw where people were asking that question a lot. That is very interesting. How long have I been trans? That's a very interesting question. But yeah, taking these physical attributes of a person and then being like, okay, now what is it that I would like in the future? You just go ahead and start living that. Like with the quarter zip movement and that trend going on. Okay, dude probably was only wearing a shiesty and being how he was because his friends were doing it. He probably didn't even want to do all that. Now he gets to embrace who he fully or truly is, because he knows that he always wanted to. I'm trying to think of something. He always wanted to like work in aviation. He always wanted to be in aviation. So now he done being a YN, and he's gonna start studying aviation properly. And he only was putting it off because his friends were encouraging him to do stuff that didn't make no sense. But you know how it is. Friends bully people, so they start doing the same thing and they have groupthink. But now that it's a trend to do better, now he can be the trendsetter and be like, yeah, so I want to go into aviation. I'm going to start racking up on my quarter zips and my sweater vests and my button-up shirts, my collared shirts, and I'm going to go to school for aviation. Okay. And I think that's a beautiful thing. That's really, really a great thing. And so when it comes to girls, modern day fashion is really annoying when it comes to girls. Because like I said, you could buy high quality stuff. If you're going to buy like super duper high quality stuff and you're still like monitoring your budget, like thrifting is good. Sometimes like you could go to like Plato's Closet. Sometimes even stuff like Facebook Marketplace, you can find some good quality stuff on there depending on what's going on. Sometimes people just overbuy stuff, or they're like, I got this as a gift and I don't want it. Like, you know, just random stuff. You can buy it, whether it's secondhand or it's still new and not used. It's just it's in a person's possession and not the department store. You know? So just make sense of what it is you desire and what it is you're doing. And then two, this is specifically for the consciousness of all. What makes sense for the environment? Because when you take the environment into consideration, that's also a plus. It's also a big plus. Because a lot of people aren't necessarily thinking about the environment and how things are going to affect the later parts of reality. So when you take that into consideration, then more doors start opening for you too. Like this hair that I'm using right now is synthetic hair. I did not want to use human hair. I don't think that the hair production industry is ethical. There could be some, positively sourced hair, but for my particular hair texture and type, I just don't think that black women are growing their hair at the speed of hair production. I just don't think that. So this wouldn't be any other type of hair other than a black woman with straight hair, because of the way that it looks and the texture that it is when you feel it. Now on camera you might not be able to tell, but when you touch it, you can tell it feels like a black woman's straight hair. That's exactly what it feels like, and that's what I was going for. I didn't want to appear to be any other race. I didn't want my ethnicity to be confused by my hair. I just look like a black woman with straight hair. That's all I wanted to look like, because that's what I was manifesting with my hair growth journey. Rick Trey said, "Look 100% woman to me." Oh, they're just weirdos in the comment section. That's all that is. Richard Muirhead said, "That's a real belly. Great angle. Congratulations on the baby, I guess. Source it from your scalp." Okay. That's funny. Minister Love said, "Do your thing. Period." Now, source it from your scalp. You came in late with that comment, Richard, because I already talked about how my hair is this long. If I was to straighten my own hair, it would be just about this long. So, if you need to, just rewatch it so you can understand. Another Richard came in and said, "Hi, hello." And so I'm gonna go back to this other topic as well for ladies specifically. So when I say modesty is gonna become like more of a trend again, it's because we're done with the proving something to men stage. Like a lot of people didn't really realize that was part of matriarchy being introduced to society effectively. But just like, oh, it's just women walking around naked everywhere. And it's like, yeah, because they were prevented from doing a lot of things. So that's part of, I said this to somebody earlier this year. Women are in their teenage girl years of existence. And that's not an insult to women. It's really not. Because think about it. Like, what happened when everybody was a teenager and there were girls? They were finally given certain freedoms and certain opportunities to do things that sometimes boys already had the freedom to do at a younger age, or that boys were just allowed to do and women just were not allowed to do it. Okay, take that into the legal system. Women literally did not have certain rights until recently. And that's not a racial thing. That is across the board in all areas, and then even in other countries. I mean, I'm speaking from an American perspective, but even in other countries, a lot of women still don't have certain rights. So women are in their teenage girl phase of living and existence because they can finally do stuff that men could do this whole time. So you can't even be fully upset with women when it comes to a lot of things, because women never had the freedom to do things. Women were killed for things that men just get a slap on the wrist for. Mark A. Houston said, "What's up, Queen? What's up?" Number Man said, "Put well." I don't know what that means. Okay. Completely unsure what that's supposed to mean. But yeah, women are in their teenage girl phase or of existence right now. And that's okay. Everything was said, everything was done. Okay, now let's do what makes complete sense. What is happening in the feminine space? What is happening in the masculine space? Women were turning on each other. Not even for a man. That's the part that like it gets to be weird. So again, here comes the part of Glamour Magick. Women were turning on each other for the acceptance of men, not for a man. You know, with the whole pick-me-show culture that developed throughout patriarchy. And it's like, okay, if a girl goes out of her way to look really, really nice, and then a woman says something about her appearance and this anything along the lines of, oh, you're doing too much, or you're trying to get men's attention and that's the only reason you're dressed that way, or oh, you should consider dressing down and all that stuff, that's a part of patriarchy. Because that woman does not like the fact that the woman who's participating in Glamour Magick is dressing up and getting attention from men that she can't get. And now, you know, before you get into like the terminologies of magic and all that stuff, okay, wearing makeup is witchcraft. That's what the Bible says. So it is what it is. Now, what are your intentions and what are you doing it for? Okay, different women wear makeup for different reasons. Altering your appearance at all is witchcraft. It just is what it is. So, you know, you can accept that and understand what your relationship with God is, or you can argue about terminologies and etymology and all that stuff. Because different things were translated in different ways regardless. Rick said, how soft is it back there? Nunion. So, as far as women being in this stage of existence right now currently is really a beautiful thing, you know, despite the problems. Because like this topic came up because I said this a long time ago when I discovered what a Hebrew Israelite was, and I would read the Bible for myself instead of through the lens of religious leaders. Because, you know, you'll listen to Hebrew Israelites and a lot of male pastors, and they'll just say the craziest thing about the journey of Adam and Eve. Because all the blame is placed on who for getting kicked out the garden? Eve is the one who ate the fruit. And very, very recently, men started taking some accountability and being like, you know what? Adam was supposed to correct his woman. That's literally what it was. Adam was given the commandment to not eat the fruit. Adam was supposed to go to God and be like, hey, God, okay, she just ate this fruit. She said the serpent told her to do it. What do you want to do about it? That's how that was supposed to go. There's not supposed to be men of today's time screaming about women not being in women's places and them being the blame for everything and all the problems. No, the man was not being a man in the beginning. So no, that's not a feminine issue, because people make mistakes. Was it a bad thing that she was disobedient and did what she wasn't supposed to do? Of course. And that's okay. But in today's time, to not understand the full context that ultimately they got kicked out because they both sinned, that's where, you know, a lot of men have reached a lot of maturity with that point nowadays. And that's a really good thing. Because now they fully understand, oh, all that had to happen was Adam correct Eve. You know, Eve may have been punished, but man did not have to be punished. But because both male and female sinned, that's why both were punished in their own respective way. You know? So now it's really funny because it's like that thing where girls are like, I'm just a girl, when like situations happen. Now Bible believers are saying stuff like, I'm just a rib. And it's like, it's true. If the woman is, this is going by the Bible that people like to push at others. Okay, I'm going directly by the Bible. If the woman is the helpmeet, okay, and the man was created to guide, why is it a situation where women are running things and men are in just complete like confusion and not able to step up. The only reason women step up to do things is because there isn't masculine presence to provide the foundation. It's the only reason. Because women leading, it means one of various different things. So, of course, women lead within the family as far as guiding the children and being the matriarch of the household once they become, like, you know, a grandparent, a grandmother, things like that. In her own organization, if she has her own business, so she's leading. If she has a community group with ladies, she's leading those other ladies in whatever context that is. When it comes to things like ruling big nations or conglomerates, that means that some man messed up somewhere. Now a woman has to come in and fix it. That's what it means most of the time. And it just is what it is. You could argue with that all you want. But if you look at history and you see all the times that like women had to lead because they had to, most of the time. Of course, women can lead in general. Of course. But a woman should not have to. It's usually not a good thing. Because then she has to utilize her masculine energy for there to be stability and a foundation. And that shouldn't be necessary all the time. Women can lead all day, every day within women's spaces. And that's a great and beautiful thing. But men are supposed to be able to lead other men. Men should not have to be led by women. It's simply that. Can men learn from women? Can men see women as leaders? Absolutely. He, at the end of the day, is supposed to have male mentorship as well. And that's what a lot of people like to misconstrue about whether it's feminism, matriarchy, or anything like that. No, the feminine comes in to balance out the masculine energy being provided. So let's say, for example, we'll just make it religious. Say, for example, there is a male leader within a religious space, and then they also have a female counterpart that assists them within leadership. That is perfectly fine. That is perfectly balanced. Now, if a woman has her own religious space, and then men are there, they are invited, they are welcome, they are okay to be there. At the end of the day, men are supposed to also have another space where men are teaching them how to be men. That's just how, like, genetically even. Look, I was a single mom of a son, okay? So it's not me trying to put women down at all. So it's like, understand what it is I'm saying and why I'm saying it. I could not, on my own, raise my son. That's not what that's supposed to be. I cannot provide the masculine structure for a growing boy. That's not natural. That's not how that's supposed to go. So I intentionally stayed around masculine figures who could assist me with whatever it was that my son needed. And it's as simple as that. And again, it's like, okay, well, what does that have to do with Glamour Magick? It's because I allowed my femininity to rest. And instead of trying to be in my masculine, I did everything girly that I wanted to do as being a mom, as I should, and allowed the men to be the men. I didn't try to teach my son how to be a man. I taught him emotional intelligence, and I taught him, he's homeschooled, so I taught him what he needed to know educationally. That's it, that's all. It's really simple. When women go back to those principles in totality, because it's getting back there. That's why I said modesty is becoming a trend now if you haven't seen it, it's becoming more of a trend now because women are finally able to rest in their femininity. It's no more of having to be hard and trying to exert masculine energy, because it's not necessary anymore. It was very, very necessary for a long time, and it was unfortunate. But now that the teenager is done rebelling, women can go back to really being women. But that also requires men going back to truly being men as well. So all that 50-50 conversation with the finances is really, it's dumb. It was already dumb, but now it's even more dumb. It doesn't make any sense. The only reason men feel like that is because they feel like men are equal to women in a way that is toxic. Men are not equal to women financially. You can see that through statistics, through boards, and even through people's personal experiences, where it's like, well, I'm only paid, this is a true statistic, I'm only paid 61 cents on the dollar in comparison to my coworkers or colleagues in this particular arena. That's what women will say, black women in particular. So how are men equal to women financially? No, women are equal to men through duty to the household, through duty to the community, through duty to the home, to the rest of the family outside of the immediate family. That's where the equality comes in. Everybody's not supposed to do the same job. One person can get a bucket of water out of the well. The other person pours it into the cup. It's the same flow, but different jobs. One person gets the water, the other person pours it into the cups for the house. It's really, really simple. But people like to overcomplicate things. Okay, y'all said a whole bunch of comments. I'm gonna get back to them in a second. Give me a minute, because y'all said a whole lot. So, it's not for women to misconstrue and misunderstand what I'm saying as far as, oh, you're not powerful and all that. No, you're more powerful doing less. That is what's going on at the end of the day. You are more powerful being cute and doing less physical labor than you are going out doing physical labor and being like, oh, I don't care what I look like. I got to do this and I got to do that. No, the more you're cute and the more you just sit and allow life to happen, of course, set your intentions. That's you set your tone based on what it is you're doing within your personal space in your home. So that's where the glamour comes in. It's like, what are you attracting? What are you magnetizing? Then you sit, rest, and allow. And then the masculine energy will match your feminine energy. Whether that's through people or whether that's through collective actions, whether that's through community, whatever. It's a spiritual science. It's not necessarily math, but it's girl math, spiritual girl math. Okay. Oh, yes, absolutely. Okay. I'm going to read those comments and then I'm going to spray my hair. Woo! This is so many comments. Oh my gosh. Okay. Emmanuel said, will you marry me? No. Fam said, damn, you look good, mama. I know. Joseph said, it's a stupid thought to even blame anyone. Any one of them. The idiot is God. I disagree. Damn, God did fuck up LOL. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Emmanuel said, Joseph, that's not all right. Yeah, facts. Joseph said, all-knowing God created man to be a bitch. LOL. Connor Siller said, you built like the O-line for Alabama. Joseph said, I don't care if it's all right or not. It's a stupid thought. Alejandro said, just a little higher. LOL. I guess you're being weird. Connor Siller said, "Is this Big the Plug sister?" Oh no. Oh, is that somebody? Let me see who that is. Cause you know, I want to be nosy. Oh, that's crazy. I don't look like him at all. Cause somebody earlier said I look like Jordan Peele, so I'm over here just being nosy to see what you're talking about. Like you're just being rude and weird. Okay. Joseph said, "Cause y'all wanted to run shit. LOL. That's stupid, but okay." Connor said, "Good Lord, you could fit a whole liter of water in that belly button." Okay. Emmanuel said, "Are you trying to argue with the Bible?" Y'all are so interesting. Joseph said it wasn't years of women whining and complaining about unequal rights. It wasn't years of women whining and complaining about unequal rights. Okay. I don't know how you even got in here. The title of my video is Glamour Magick, so I don't even know what could have attracted you to my comment section, because I'm pretty sure women experiencing infidelity, getting beat on, not being able to own property or have their own money isn't whining. Like women getting assaulted in many different ways, like that's just not whining. But you're the reason why all that stuff happened. Your mentality is exactly why those things happen and why women are coming out of their teenage girl era. Ken Fluent sent 100. I don't know what that means, but thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I gotta learn. Like I haven't been on socials in over a year, so I gotta learn what these things mean. Joseph said the Bible is a dumb thing to argue against. LOL, it's a bunch of crap. That's hilarious. You're wrong as fuck. LOL, and fuck things up more. No, that's not biblical. LOL. Seven Smith said it's a lie. That's a lie. Joseph said that's not biblical. Be careful. Emmanuel said, Joseph, you do have to give God a chance. Joseph said, you guys complain all the time. Franklin is speaking a language that I don't know. He said, Jete, hello, mommy. Okay, hello. Alejandro said, what about Eve eating the apple and trusting the serpent? What kind of leadership is that? That was the whole example. I don't know what time you came in, but that was the whole example. Adam was supposed to come in and correct the behavior. Eve was out of line for disobeying God. And that's okay. She sinned. She made a bad decision. And her husband was supposed to correct the situation. That was the whole point of me saying that. Because the commandment was given to Adam. So Adam was supposed to keep the home in line, not allow the woman to cause a disruption. That was the entire point of what I was saying. Alondra said you couldn't lead shit, LOL. Only your ass is leading is the line into Golden Corral. Okay. Joseph said, just please be quiet, LOL. That's what I mean. Like I said, Instagram will have like weirdos, but YouTube will have them, but it's a certain type. It's just like, this is a live stream. You're using your own free will. It's like you can just do anything you want to do, yet you're choosing to be here. Thomas said, gorgeous lady, measurements, please. Absolutely not. Joseph said, and that's on you, LOL. Should have gotten married first, like the Bible says, LOL. I did get married. I got married before my son was born. That's it's just so, this is so funny. It's so funny. Yeah, I did get married. I had to divorce my ex-husband. What's up, Joseph? I was married to my son's father, and we had to divorce. So, Jave Arvanti said, poor horse, give him his locks back. This is not horsehair, synthetic. King Fire said blessings. What's good? Joseph said, so basically you had to be the dude because you fucked up. No, that's not what happened. This is why. Okay, so I had showed y'all an example of why I left social media in one example, but this is another reason. Because I interact with the comments on here for different reasons and whatnot. So I'm just going back and forth with the troll right now just because it adds to the engagement. But people choose to not do anything with their life where I'm actually talking about something. And if this person disagrees, that's their own choice to disagree, and that's okay. They don't have to stay. But they have provided so many comments on this video that they seem to disagree with, and I don't even understand how they got here. It says Glamour Magick, playlist coming soon. I'm talking about how women being in their femininity provides them the lifestyle that they would desire, along with masculines being within now their desired space. It's not necessarily being in their masculinity. I can't speak from a dude's perspective, but changing the way that they dress and intentionally dressing for the lifestyle that they want to choose to have, how that will improve their daily living, providing encouragement. And then people choose to be this way. I don't even think this person's black. Like the way that their profile picture is set up, I don't even think they're black. Gaje said, bro, you a face tattoo from Mike Tyson. You a face tattoo away from Mike Tyson. Homeschooled. Emmanuel said, why are you complaining? You didn't choose to be a female. So is everybody. Just do what the Bible requires you to do. I can't tell if you're talking to me or the other people in the comments. Because, yeah, just do what the Bible requires you to do. Exactly. Gaje said, Lord have mercy. Joseph said, you're really lost in translation. LOL, pay for me, be a man is what you're saying, right? Pay for me, be a man is what you're saying. That's okay. So what exactly is a father then? A father is the same thing as a husband. You provide for the feminine. That's the whole thing. The masculine provides for and protects the feminine. That's literally y'all's job. That's exactly what the Bible says. Men lead. Women co-lead, but in a sense it's like taking a back seat. Allow him to make the decisions but influence the decisions at the same time. Like I don't, like I said. Gaje said, where's your source? What's the source? The Bible. Like you can literally look that up. I'm not saying anything you can't look up. Derek Murphy said LOL. Octo Team or Amarillo said fake hair. Absolutely. Yes, it is. Gaje says, speaking of duty in the home, get that roach off the walls. All right. Roach shit off the walls. There is. Okay. NTZ Clark said, what do you mean? You are getting paid just to be a woman on the internet. It don't work that way for guys. Okay. That's not true. A lot of men have success on social media, so I don't understand that. I don't really understand what you mean. I really don't understand what you. There's more male influencers or male content creators on social media than there are women. So I really don't understand that comment. That has me genuinely lost. I'm very lost on that one. I'm very lost. I guess you came in when I was talking about the income difference, where women make 61 cents on the dollar that their colleagues make. I guess that's what you're talking about. But I'm not talking about entertainment, because entertainment is a different category than regular workspaces. I remember when I was with my ex-husband, we worked for the same company doing the same job, but he was paid $1 more than me. We didn't know why. So no, I'm not saying anything that's untrue. I'm not really understanding why men are so upset right now. Where did the men come from? King Fire said pagans and heathens will be just that. Repent, repent, repent. Scorp, Mytho Chalice at restroom. Greg Arnold said, late to the chat, what is this about? Thomas family said, love to hear. Much gratitude. Appreciate you so much. Emmanuel says, so whom are you blaming for? That is not our fault. That it is not our duty to babysit kids and cook. Leave us alone to enjoy our natural benefit. I'm not understanding what you mean. I'm not understanding what you mean. Because you're a man. So who are you? I think you mean blaming. So who are you blaming for that? It's not our fault. That it is not our duty to babysit kids and cook. Leave us alone to enjoy our natural benefit. Okay, I don't know who you're talking to because that's exactly what I was saying. Franklin said, hello, mommy. Bad Seed and said, feminist babble. It's not. I don't know what you're talking about. A lot of feminists would be kind of upset with what I'm saying. So I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I think some of you guys, like as men, you see a woman speaking positively about women and you just get upset. Because I haven't even said anything bad about men at all. So y'all got me kind of lost in these comments. I don't even see where these thoughts came from. Louis Nate said, I know you ain't gay talking about God. Who said I was gay? Yo, the trolls are, oh my goodness. Trolls are different, bro. I don't know where me being gay came from. Tyler Scholl said, did you ever pop a balloon before? No. You talk about the show? No, I did not go on a pop balloon show. Bad C said, Eve was the first strong and independent. You can't tell me nothing feminist. She wasn't. She was married. She was the rib. And like I said, Adam was supposed to correct her behavior because she did something she wasn't supposed to do. Tom Sampley said, sending love light. Much gratitude. Nez Paris said, is that all your real hair? Absolutely not. My hair looks like this, but this is not my hair. No, I have a sew-in. Louis said, your belly button must never get dirty. I don't know what that means. King Op said, God said, come as you are. Don't judge nor be a hypocrite. Okay. Nakia Bush said, hey, love. Hi. Bad Seed and said, damn, feminist still believes the wage gap lie. It's not a lie. I just gave a real life example that I lived through. It wasn't... wow. Nakia Bush said, women always gets fucked on wages, unfortunately. Yeah. It's just, it is. Louis said, because it's an Audi. I don't, stop. Oh my goodness. That is something that I never understood. Why my belly button was a topic. That's not new, but I don't get it. But anyway, I don't know where all the men came from. It's like when I intentionally do girly type videos, not to say that men can't learn. Like I said, I gave examples for males. It's like when I intentionally do girly type videos, men just show up in the boatloads. I do not understand that. I don't care. I don't care. Like, my belly button is my belly button. It's none of y'all's business. Okay. But yeah, this was weird, but it's okay because that's just the internet. But yes, I will be making a playlist soon of all the Glamour Magick videos. And because the thing is, like, attracting who you are is very, very important. Attracting who you actually are is very, very important. So in my real life, off the internet, a lot of things happen. I won't say based on my physical appearance, but coinciding with the development of my physical appearance. So when you care for your physical appearance, you're telling your environment, okay, these are the adaptations to make. This is the request, this is the call. Because it's a psychological thing with people around you, it's a psychological thing for yourself, it's a psychological thing for those who look up to you. And this isn't as important, but the people who look down on you, the people who are shallow and do have those preconceived notions or ideals about people, when you change your appearance, they'll start treating you different. Now, is it for that purpose? Are you trying to impress people who don't like you? No, that's not the purpose. But sometimes it does make your life easier when people who at one point gave you a hard time start giving you less of a hard time. It just becomes more convenient. And that's the whole thing. You're attracting more convenience into your life. You're attracting an easier life. And that's just what comes with it. It's a process, and you have to make daily habits of intending what you want your physical body, but aesthetic. You want your aesthetic to give off a certain message. Okay. Warning system of Ohio said Jesus loves you and died for you. When he was on the cross, his last word was, "It is finished," before he hung his head and breathed his last. And that was when the war was won. So yeah, I'm gonna go pretty soon. Not right this second, but I'm gonna go ahead and go in a few, so you guys can enjoy the rest of your day. And take this conversation to who you think it would make sense to, because as you can see, a lot of people just were truly committed to misunderstanding what I was saying. It was very weird. It was misogynist trying to do the misogyny thing, not understanding that none of what I said goes against biblical principle. So it's like, typically what happens is misogynists, they like to use the Bible against people, but when I'm using the Bible, they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do, so then they start just, saying anything. They start saying and doing anything to be mean, for lack of better terms, rather than do anything to assist someone else. Okay. Sean Harris said, thanks. For sure. And I appreciate you too, Sean. Like, I could tell the difference between like the real people who supported my platform for a minute and then like just randoms. Like the people who have been long-term supporters are generally more cool and just make sense of what they're saying rather than just randoms. And I think it's super weird. No, yeah. I think it's super weird how people are still in this mindset online, like just wanting to argue for no reason. Because I didn't say anything that a man should disagree with. I didn't say anything disrespectful about men. I didn't say anything, to make women more important than they would appear to be. So it's like, I don't know what team you're playing for. Sean said, oh, yeah, day ones. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Appreciate y'all 100%. Okay, big up. It's me straightening my hair. I did a different type of style this time. It's a no closure type of thing. So I don't have that one piece. It's just my natural scalp out. Okay. 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 Green Saber said beluga whale looking ass. That's crazy. Sean Hare said I like it. Much gratitude. Much gratitude. Beluga whale is crazy. Okay. I'll do this brush and I'll be done. Yeah, you know. Just, you know what they say, dress for success and dress to impress. You don't have to dress to impress anyone other than yourself. Dress to impress your atmosphere. Dress to impress your vibration. Because when you see yourself, when you look at your phone, when you walk past the mirror, you want to be like, oh, I look good. It has nothing to do with what anyone else is saying. If anything, you can dress for your spouse. You can dress for your partner. You can have a good time together. But that whole going out of your way to try to, you know, do stuff to make people look at you a certain way, buying name brands that are very, very loud, or intentionally doing things for the attention, no. Sean said I enjoyed the message. Okay, glad you did. Glad you did. Did my job successfully, did. Okay. I was on here for about an hour and a half. Just had to straighten my hair out, refresh my bird's nest looking situation. Because I was getting scraggly and it was not looking good. Yeah, it was not looking good. So now we're back to normal. But yes, Shalom Rainicorns. I will see you in the next one. Thawada. And that means thank you in Hebrew.